Good evening, believers. Hold on, wait a minute. I think my mic is unplugged. Let's get that right. Hello, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, you don't know what we're doing. This is a situation where you've been hurt, you have been cheated on, but you want to stay in your relationship. You're trying to work this out. You would like to be with the person that you love. You would like to continue the relationship, and you're not quite sure how to do that. I am here to help you with that. I am here right now to be your guide down the healing path to be able to get to a place where you can actually trust again and feel like you're in love again and get to happiness again from all of this pain and betrayal. All right. So if you're with me now, let me know. Give me some likes. Give me some love. Make sure you can hear me. You can hear me okay? Make sure that. All right. Let me make sure I can see everything. Well, that's on mute. Okay. Fabulous. All right. So I know about this particular topic because I've been through it. I am 15 years past the last D-Day, not the first one, not the only one, the last one. Okay. My husband was a cheater for about 4 years in our relationship. And it has been 15 years since that now. All right. We're working on year 16 since that. And I just couldn't keep on doing all the things that people said that I should do because they weren't working. All right. I am one of those people where I need some evidence that this is actually working for me to continue to do this. The trying to lay it all on him and trying to say that he had to make a decision about what was going to happen for us. That wasn't me at all. Trying to listen to all those fears and the idea that I had to leave him or else I wasn't going to heal. I didn't like that. There were a whole bunch of different things that I just was not appreciative of, that I heard that I was like, this is not actually working to get me healed. I don't feel any better. Things are not improving. We keep on arguing. This is a constant present thing in our relationships all the time. What do I need to do to stop this? And so what I did was I started doing the exact opposite of what everybody was telling me to do. I realized that all of those things come from fear. All right. When people are telling you to run, when people are telling you to protect yourself, when they're telling you to talk about it, all of that comes from the fear. All of that comes from the idea that somehow, if you just talk about it enough, if you pay attention to it enough, you can somehow make this pain go away. But I'm saying that you need to take your focus off of it. You cannot continue to keep talking about it, reliving it, rehashing it, going over it over and over and over again with your honey. If you want to heal, you are reinforcing it in your brain every time you go over it, and it's killing your chances of getting on the healing path and making it to a better place. All right. So I'm going to tell you about the things that I know work that I want you to do. All right. Hello, Caitlin. Glad you're here. Hi. Everybody's coming on in. I see people falling on into the Facebook room. If you're here on Instagram, say hey to me over there. If you're with me on Facebook, make sure you give me likes and just let the algorithm know how wonderful I am. All right, we are going for it. Let me open this page up. All right. Let's see. See everything. All right. So what I like to do is I like to tell you all the things that you can do all on your own that are going to help you, that are going to help you feel better, that are going to get you to a better place, that are going to start to sort through trauma in your head. You deserve to get healed. You deserve to feel better from it. So I'm going to tell you everything that I know about that. All right. And if you have questions, let me know because I want to answer all the questions that come. I do not gatekeep this information. You do not have to sign up for one of my many programs just to be able to hear this stuff from me. I will tell you, okay? Every week I am here and I'm telling you. But if you want to work with me, you're faster. I am definitely open to that too. Message me if you would like to work with me. All right. All right. First things first, we always do the same like four things when we first start off. The first thing I want you to start doing, if you're not doing it regularly now, is do your deep breathing. Okay. Have you been doing your deep breathing? If you've not been doing that, you are not helping yourself to get past this trauma. All right. This trauma, when you go through trauma, you go in, your brain kicks in the fight or flight, right? We have that fight or flight reaction, that anxiety reaction. It feels really awful, gets you ready to fight or gets you ready to run. All right. Some people they freeze, but most of the time we're angry, so we're ready to fight or we're ready to run away. So if you are going through that particular process, your breathing changes. Your brain takes over and actually starts to change the way the blood flows around your body. Normally, it just goes everywhere. It goes on your chest, goes all the way to your fingertips, fine. Everything is okay. But when you're in fight or flight mode, what it does is go more to your big muscles, gets to your large muscle groups in your arms, the large ones in your thighs, so that you can fight or you can run away. All right. So in changing your blood flow around, it makes it so that it doesn't go to some areas, like it doesn't go to your core. It doesn't go as much to your brain. So it doesn't go as much to your fingertips and your toes. That's why your fingertips and your toes can get numb if you're having anxiety. It is not going, that blood flow is not going to those places as much anymore. It is going to those big muscle groups. And you have to breathe faster to be able to get enough oxygen into your bloodstream to supply those muscles with oxygen. All right. This is a physical thing that is happening to you. So a physical thing is the thing that you need uh, to work on doing the opposite, to reverse it, to stop it. All right. So we need to do our deep breathing. The deep breathing is the exact opposite of the way you breathe when you're freaking out, right? When you're freaking out, your breath is fast, it's shallow. You can't get a good deep breath in. It feels like your chest is killing you. When you slow down and you take full breaths in, expand your lungs, you blow out like blowing out a birthday cake full of candles. You are using your muscles to tell your brain, hey, I am safe. I do not need my blood flow to go to my big muscles. I do not need to be panting for oxygen right now. I'm going to slow down. I am in control and I am not in danger right now. That is the main thing about trauma. We need to get that reaction under control. That's what throws our emotions all out of whack for the most part, especially starting off, is that anxiety reaction taking over your body. It's taking over your nervous system. You have to take back control of this autopilot thing that happens to you. All right. So that's what we're doing when we're doing the deep breathing. You are breathing and showing your brain that you're fine. Everything is okay. You're safe. Okay. That's why it's so important to do it. And I need you to be doing this 5 times a day. All right. It needs to be consistent. It needs to be constantly, hey, no brain, I'm okay. There's no need for you to freak out. See how beautifully and slowly and deeply I'm breathing? Trust me, if there was some danger, it wouldn't be like that. That is what you're doing. You're convincing your brain, you are rewiring your brain to stop doing it automatically while you're healing up from this trauma. So, we do 4-7-8 breathing. Now, you can do whatever pattern you want to, but I do 4-7-8. That's the one that helps my brain the most. When you are using your brain to count, you can't be using your brain to freak out. And so that sequence of numbers does it best for my brain. It makes my brain remember what we are doing. So I'm always like, okay, where are we at? 4. Okay, where are we at? 7. All right, we're at 8. So it helps me to come out of the fight or flight mindset of getting stuck in those terrible pictures. It activates a different part of your brain. All right, so we're going to do 4-7-8 breathing. What we're going to do is blow out first, exhale, and get all that carbon dioxide out of your lungs, because if you've been panting, you haven't actually let out extra carbon dioxide. And if you have excess carbon dioxide in your blood, again, this is a physical thing, you are going to trigger your brain to think that there is something wrong with you physically, even though all it is you doing the normal thing of panting while you're having a panic attack. So we got to even that on out, blow out. Then you're going to inhale for a count of 4. You're going to hold that breath for a count of 7. And then you're going to blow out like you're blowing out birthday candles on a cake for a count of 8. Now, if you smoke, it may be a little difficult the first 2 times you do it, but you'll have it by the 3rd time, okay? Like allergy problems. This will help. Oh, if you got problems with your lungs or whatnot, this will help. So it's oxygen is good for you at all times and in all places. So breathe with me, shall you? Come on along and do your deep breathing with me. First thing we're gonna do is blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How do you feel when you're doing your deep breathing? How does it feel to you? Does it feel calming? Do you feel like you get kind of a rush? Some people get a little bit of a rush from all of a sudden getting all of this oxygen into their bloodstream all of a sudden. It's like, oh, hey, that feels kind of good. Or some people get sleepy. Some people get a little tired. So let me know how you feel when you do your deep breathing. And are you doing your deep breathing on a regular basis? You need to be doing that 5 times a day. We just did it 3 times for the sake of time, but I need you to be doing this 5 times a day. Now, along with your deep breathing, I want you to be journaling. Have you been journaling? Have you been sitting down with your thoughts and considering them for just a short time? I need you to take up that as a habit every day. Try it for this next week. Every day, you sit down for 5 minutes. I'm not asking for a book here. 5 minutes out of your time, first thing in the morning when you wake up and right before you go to bed. All right. Talk about your day, whatever is going on, things that you're anxious about happening, things that the plan that will happen if this anxious thing unfolds, how you handle it later on. I want you to sit down with your journal and just pour out some emotion, pour out some thoughts and plans for about 5 minutes. All right. It does not have to even fill up a page. While you're doing this, when you first start off, I want you to do your date, your time, your level of anxiety. Those things are critical because later on, you're going to go back and you're going to read this book and you need to know what date and time this was because you can find patterns to when you get triggered and when things are going wrong for you if you have dates and times in the book. And then your level of anxiety is 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. All is right with the world. Then there is a 10 is I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. That is a 10. Okay. If you were at that point, you are probably not sitting down with a pen and pen writing in your journal. You're freaking out. You're probably yelling at somebody. You may be running down the street naked. We don't know. But chances are you're not at a 10 if you're at your journal. So just keep that in mind. You come back later and say, oh yeah, I was at a 10 today. You can come back later and say that, but only after you've gotten back in control of yourself. If you are in control enough to sit down and write, you're not quite at it. Okay. All right. So um, write that level of anxiety at the beginning and write it at the end. You will see just that act of writing for about 5 minutes calms you down. It brings that level of anxiety down, even if you're at 7 and it goes to a 6. Isn't that better? Yeah, right? We want to do a little bit better. We want to start to conquer the trauma that has affected our brain. And that is a key way to do it. Sitting down with your journal twice a day, 5 minutes. Okay. All right. So I need you to do that for me. All right. Make sure you're sitting down. Hello, Tracy. How you doing? Glad you're here. You know, if you say hi to me, I'm gonna say hi to you now. So if you want me to shout you out, you want me to talk to you, you gotta say something. Let me know that you're here. All right. I see y'all out here. Selena, see you out here. All right, so the next one we've got you're so welcome, Tracy. All right, so we got our breathing, we got our journaling. All right. The third thing I want you to do is develop a practice of gratitude. All right. I want you to every day be focused on what is wonderful, what is good, what is positive, what is happy about my life. I see you, Selena. Hey, girl. Glad you're here. If you don't ever think about the good, all right, your brain is never going to, trauma will be permanent, it will take over, and you will always be looking for the negative. You will always be looking for pain, for suffering in your life. You have to recognize that there are good things besides this happening to you. There are good things that are going on in life, and you have to be grateful for them. You have to be expressing that out into the world because that's how more good things happen. People who complain all the time, people who are miserable, do you want to do stuff for them? You want to help them out? Not really, right? But if you are seeing somebody who is in the face of some troubling thing, acting with grace, is trying very hard to do their very best. You want to do a little something to help them, right? That's just the basic tenet of the universe. The universe likes it when you're grateful and doesn't like it when you're being stuck up. You're mad about everything. Okay. I know this is painful, but it is not the only thing that is going on in your life. So that's why I do Thirsty Thursday. That's why every week in the group, I want you to tell me something great that happened for you this week. Please, if you have one right now, because I see there aren't any on the post, but if you have one right now, let me know. Comment right this second if something good is happening in your life because you got to celebrate it. You've got to share it. The same way it's so easy to share the pain, you got to be sharing that good stuff too. Okay, you cannot be just keeping it to yourself and trying to just keep that fire going all on your own. You need other people to recognize, hey, that is a great thing. I'm so glad that is happening for you to be like, hey, yeah, yes, it is a really great thing. If you see enthusiasm from somebody else about your good thing, you will think that it's more important than it is. All right, it will be more pronounced in your brain how you feel about it. So share, come on with it. Let me know if you've got anything. Let me know what good stuff you got going on in your lives, and I'll shout you out and tell everybody what wonderful things you have going on in your life. All right. All right, the last thing. All right, if and now I'll come back to anybody who's gonna tell me anything good because I want to always hear good news. I love to share good news with you. If there aren't any of those, I'll go on to the next thing that you can do all on your own to stop some of the pain. Stop feeling so bad to start to heal some of the trauma. All right. You need to stop asking all those damn questions. Okay. Every one of the ones that you want to ask, every one of the ones that say, oh, I can get closure if I know this. It will not give you closure. Every one of the questions that said, oh, I can go ahead and heal and let it go if I know this. That is not true. I promise you, your brain is just lying to you. It's a part of trauma. Your brain wants to collect all the information it can, and it will give you any excuse possible, any excuse you will believe to be able to get that information. Now, it's going to be something negative that your brain wants to talk about instead of something good. All right, at all times. All right, while you're in the midst of trauma, your brain can only really see the bad things. It's looking out for things that can hurt you. So instead of asking all those questions that are just going to hurt your feelings, all right, you can stop asking questions. Now that's a little bit harder to do. Instead of just stopping altogether cold turkey, give your brain something better to do. This is the and, all right? That's what it is. It is the and. It's the healing edition. This is a great game. Great game for couples to sit down and start to heal. So it gives you questions that are better than
Where did the two of you have sex? And how did you first start communicating? All of that is not going to help you. It's just going to stress you out, make you sad. All right. So instead of those questions, let's try some of these. All right. And I see y'all. I see good stuff for your Thirsty Thursday. Hey there. I see you. Glad you're here. Selena said, my youngest graduated high school. I saw pictures. I saw pictures on your page. And you look like such a proud mama. You should be. Because, you get them through somehow or another. You do it. So congratulations to you on your child graduating. Because for real, that was a lot to do with you. Okay, that was a lot of work that you put in to get a child through high school. Okay. Oh, you did great, Angela. Hey, glad you're here. Y'all tell me good stuff. Angela, I saw your question. Excellent question. We're gonna talk about what you asked for sure. Good question. All right. So instead of the questions that you want to ask, let's try a couple of these. All right. Give you a better question. This one says, describe a turning point in a relationship. Ooh, see? It could be. It could be this, but it could be a different turning point. It could be a positive one too. So don't assume. It says, why was it important to you? So describe a turning point in our relationship and why was it important to you? Now, you could, if he was the one that got the question, he asked you to describe a turning point in your relationship, you could say the cheating. You absolutely could. However, I would advise to try to lean into the good, positive memories that you have. All right, to go to a better place than, oh, but you cheated on me and that changed everything. Hold on, because we're trying to heal from that. So instead of that, try and go to a turning point where I first realized that you were the person that I would marry. I first realized that you were my person, you were my lobster. Somehow or another, I got to that place. Let's have fun instead, right? Wouldn't that be a better thing to talk about? Wouldn't that be a more friendly conversation to have, right? So instead of leaning towards the negative, try and lean towards the positive. Taylor 85. I see you over there on Instagram. You say you're late. That's all right. Better late than never. I am all for you being here. I don't care if you keep with me as long as you're here. Lori, hey girl, glad you're here. How's things going? You doing all right? Hope you're going well over there. All right. Anybody got some good stuff for Thursday? Tell me some positive things that have happened for you, and we'll talk about it. All right. The next question. All right. Better questions to ask than stuff about the affair. What are we learning from one another? That's a good question. That is a simple question that does not have to lean towards the cheating. Okay. Don't make every single answer to one of these cards be about the cheating. Okay. You have more depth than that. All right. I need you to be focusing on something other than the worst thing that has happened between the two of you. All right. It is a healing edition, but you don't want to keep poking that same wound over and over again. All right, I see you, girl. Hey, Lori. All right, Caitlin said we are going to see a play on Friday. I am so excited for you. You know what? We saw a play that we were like, oh, we could go to that, and come find out it's like this weekend. I was like, oh, dang, we didn't even have a chance to like stand up and go to that. Dang, hey, he's going to work. But that's all right. We're gonna plan for another play. We're gonna make sure we see one. I think next month. I see a couple things coming, and I'm like, all right, I want to go see that. So I am fully with you. Go get a little culture together. Go out and be king and queen at the theater together. I am all for that, Caitlin. Sounds wonderful. Glad you got a nice date. Be the best date that you possibly can. Have like zero expectations. Just assume that everything is going to go wonderfully. Be happy, smile, be genuinely like open, be a good date. It's going to be an excellent date. All right. Don't expect anything from him. Go and sparkle. All right. That's what I need you to be focused on. When you go to see this play, you go out and you sparkle in front of him. Okay. Make so he can barely even look at the stage. All right. Let's see. One more question. One more question. If you had more time, where would you spend it? That's an interesting question. A lot of women would like for people want to spend more time with them, but I'm trying to. We get a little sick of each other if we're around each other a little too much. All right, we've got to start cultivating, doing our own thing, and then coming back together because that works out a lot better. All right, it is peace and harmony in our house. If I let my husband go play his doggone video game for like 2 hours, he's a happy camper. He's gonna do what I want him to do for like the rest of the day. He just wants that time to be able to play his video game. He's in the house. He's not doing anything wrong. Okay. All right. You know what I mean? If you know that there is something that your honey loves, why not give them a little extra time to do that? He loves it and say, "Hey, I'm okay with you taking that time. That's okay. Go take care of you. Go take care of me for a little bit, and we'll have up after that." And they're so much happier, and they're so much more willing to do things that you want to do. So, that's some advice for you today. All right. All right. That's the question. So that's it for that part. That's always going to be what I'm going to start off with. I'm going to always tell you do your deep breathing, do your journaling, asking all those damn questions. They are not helping. Okay. And that includes, I was talking to somebody I didn't get to come back to earlier or yesterday. Somebody in the group was saying that they wanted their mate to tell them everywhere they were going and they were obsessing over the Life 360. Oh, well, he told me that he went this place, but he didn't tell me until after he went. And I want him to tell me beforehand. All of that is just your brain trying to control something that you can't control another person. All right. You have no control over anybody but yourself. And if you're obsessing, it wouldn't matter if he went ahead and told you. It would not matter. You would still be stressed out. You can only do something about yourself as you are healing. Okay. The relationship, all of that stuff is going to fall into place after you start working on doing your own healing. If you see that you're obsessing, you have to stop obsessing. You have to do the thing that is hardest if you're going to heal and get the relationship back on track. You can't even focus on the relationship getting back on track until you've done some healing, until you've done a little bit of regulating your own emotions and getting back in control of yourself. You can't get any further than that in a relationship if you haven't done that work first. So start with that. Start with that and know that the obsession thing, the checking, the I need to know where you are at all times, that is part of obsession. That is not part of healing. That is, I was hurt, so I'm terrified I'm going to get hurt again. So let me obsess over this thing. And if I keep on obsessing about this thing, then maybe it will prevent me from getting hurt again. It's not even a logical argument that your brain is making to you, but it feels like it because you're looking for anything that will keep you safe. It will not keep you safe. It will not. And as Angela said, Life 360 is not reliable. I haven't really seen any of the trackers and whatnot that's reliable enough that you can leave it over your mate. Like I don't think I don't think that we should be believing what Life 360 says over what our mate says, and it's just simple technology. It's still in its early days. It is not perfect by far yet, and you sitting there obsessing over, oh, his dot hasn't moved in a while. It's just because the system is taking its time, and it's not because he's just sitting somewhere. It's too much to try and depend on to get to your healing, to get to a place where you believe and you trust again. You can't get there using technology that might be wrong. All right. Does that make sense? That makes sense. All right. So, so much to talk about. I saw such a question. Oh, I love the question. You have questions for me? Let me know. I always want to answer your questions. I am here just to do that. Every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am here on the Healing Hour Live. I want to hear your questions. I want to answer your questions. I think you've been in pain long enough. I feel like, okay, you've done your time. I'm going to give you all the information that I possibly can about getting out of that pain. All right. Let's see. Angela said a woman went to her base job, may have driven a vehicle with her, ended up in a fight in front of my office, all because she lost him on like 364 an hour. Exactly. That is how much she is obsessing over it. That's not he. Oh, she went to jail. Yeah, because that was a kidnapping. That's what that was. In the thing is, if you're obsessed, you don't think past that obsession. So you're just obsessed with, I didn't know where you were for an hour. Here, let me come up to your job and kidnap you. It doesn't make any sense, but you can make those jumps because you're letting an obsession just freely run in your life. If you know you're obsessing over it, you keep on looking. You need to either if you got it for your family, you got it for your kids. I understand that, but you can't sit there and look at what your mate is doing all day long. It's going to drive you up a wall. It's going to send you to jail, like Angela just told you about. Okay, because you're going to lose it. You're going to be a sitting there obsessing, and then you're going to lose it. You're going to start listening to all the pain and fear based voices in your head, and all of those voices want you to do something reckless. Okay, every one of those mean, terrible voices in your head. Doesn't it want you to do something reckless? Doesn't it want you to do something that's probably not going to be good for your relationship? You should probably not listen to them. Right? All right, let's see. Taylor, you said about the cards you suggested good. Helped us so much on a long drive, not just talking about the affair. You're so welcome. I'm so glad that that worked out for you because that could have been a hellish car ride. Okay, it could have been hellish to sit there and for hours have to talk about something that hurts both of you to talk about. So I'm very glad that you got the cards and you asked those questions instead. Would it a lot easier just to talk about something other than that? And then you get to connect. That's what you really want. When you're asking all those questions, you make all those excuses in your head, but the real thing is you want to connect with them again. You feel apart from them because they've done this, because they've hurt you, which is totally normal, but you want to connect. And you can't connect talking about the thing that broke you apart. It does not work like that. I don't know why people think that it does, but it doesn't. You can't keep talking about the thing that broke you apart and let that is going to lead you back together. It doesn't work. So I'm glad that you had that good ride, got some good answers, got to talk about some things that made you probably like a little tearful, feeling pretty good, right? I bet you did get to have a little bit of good times as you were riding. So I'm glad for you. Hey, Thirsty Thursday. I love to hear the good news. Oh, love it. Regina said, so something I'm really struggling with is that I'm giving my partner his space while he's several states away for work, but now he's even more distant, and that really makes the negative feelings come rising back. Regina, you're saying he's more distant. Are you being more clingy? Are you calling him all the time? Are you checking in? Where are you? What are you doing? Are you calling and texting more? Do that less. He will do, it will immediately work. He will immediately start calling you and texting you more if you aren't calling and texting all the time. And that's exactly the way it works. You're kind of overwhelmed. You're like you're giving him this space, but I bet you. And then every time he does contact you, you're like, oh, you're distant. You're not giving me any love and any affection, and then that makes it less likely that he will talk. So try first thing in the morning. You text him first thing, say, good morning, baby. I love you. I hope you have a great day. I got a few things planned. I hope you have a wonderful day today. All right. Simple. No questions. Not asking them a single thing. Just a pleasant, friendly, loving message. All right. Then at night, before you go to bed, last thing before you get ready to go to bed at night, text him and say, okay, I'm sliding under the covers. Wish you were here. I love you. I miss you. Good night. All right. Not a question in there, right? No questions at all. Take every question out of your text. Because when you're doing texting to him and you're asking questions, you're asking for a response. Please respond to me. Please say something back to me so that I can know that you're paying attention. Do not even give that opportunity. Don't ask those questions. Just leave it as a friendly message and he'll start reaching out to you. So any other time during the day besides those two text messages, first thing in the morning and in the evening, unless there's something going on, like something happened with the kids, you gotta let him know. Things that he can actually do something about too, because you can tell him like a situation that's happening in the moment, like it could be like an emergency with the kids, but he can't do anything about it because he stays away. So if it is one of those situations, it is an emergency thing with the kids, but he can't help you, tell him later. All right. Tell him once you got some more information, you know what has happened. But otherwise, don't call him or text him during the day. Let him reach out to you. You will see that he is reaching out to you. If you just lean back. All right. Does that make sense to you, Regina? Let me know. If I'm wrong and you are not texting him at all, okay. But usually when people ask me this question, they're usually reaching out a lot several times a day and not really given an opportunity for him to reach out first. And so then you keep feeling like, well, I'm putting in all the effort. Why isn't he reaching out? It's because you keep doing it first. He can't keep up. He's working. So you are reaching out before he can even reach out to you while he's working. All right. That makes sense? Let me know, Regina. Tell me if I'm wrong. All right, let's see. Caitlin says, I don't ask where he goes tonight. He doesn't come home. I just ask him to be safe. He's still my home in my eyes, if that makes sense. That makes total sense, Caitlin. It does. And if he still, mine was like that for a while. He was out in the streets. The streets kept calling him. He'd be out all night. He'd be like, what the hell are you doing? I learned to just go ahead and go to sleep. Go ahead and go to bed. Stay up all night waiting on him, stressing yourself out. If you go to bed and he has realized, oh, she's not even staying up anymore. She doesn't care. But when I'm coming home, he'll start doing the right thing. He'll get it together. He will. But he is home. And mine is home for me too. I totally understand that. I get it. And it's hard sometimes because it seems like they kind of take advantage of that a little bit. But number one, I mean, you're kind of supposed to. You got that extra leeway with the person that you love. Everybody kind of takes a little bit of advantage with the person that they love, but it, he has to figure out that that is not where his happiness lies. And if you can be even and be still receptive to him, still loving when he comes home, and show him that, oh, right here, this is supposed to be where you want to be in the middle of the night. If you can do that, then he's going to start to come around. He's not going to want to hang out all night. All right. And you said, you're not wrong. I just trying to tell you the real. I don't try to make up stuff. I want to tell you exactly what I know that will work, that is the truth. Okay. Regina, you said I've been doing a pretty good job of just 2 texts a day, but then I noticed him being more busy or more tired or going to bed early, and then I started texting him more and more. See, it's everybody that asks me the question is it's the same thing. It's like you started off pretty good, and he was doing better then, right? He was paying attention more, reaching out more, not having excuses and stuff more when you weren't texting him so much. Yeah, he got a little bit busy, but he was busy. He's actually working. He's doing something. He's not just away, on vacation chilling. He's actually going to work. And usually, if you have a job where you have to leave and go states away, you're working like 12-hour shifts. So if that is the case, all right, even if he's only working 8 days, 8 hours, 5 days a week, still it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of being away from home. It's trying to figure out, get a life where you are, even though like your family and stuff is gone. You gotta have like a life, you gotta have some other outlet stuff to do. So you're feeling your way out, you're meeting people, you're trying your best to keep doing your job with a support system. You gotta develop a support system where you are. You're, I'm sure, a great support system for him, but he also has to have a support system where he is to be able to work that far away and be able to survive that and be able to make it home. Because it's hard. It's hard to do that. I've worked, hours away before. That sucks. It's no fun. None at all. It was no fun. It was stressful. But then if My husband is at home and he's stressing, then I'm stressing because there's nothing I can do. All I can do is just say sorry. I'm not there, but what does that do? So it made me upset, and then that kind of makes your communication yours because you don't want to hear something bad every time you go home. So try it like that. Go back to the 2 times a day, keeping it very loving, very light, very simple. Don't ask any questions. I bet you started asking a whole bunch of questions. Don't ask any questions in the text that you send him. Just give him sentiment. Tell him that you hope that he has a good day instead of, oh, you think you're going to have a good day today? No, no, no. You don't even need to do that because that is a request for a response. Don't make anything about your message a request for a response because then it is completely on him if he responds. You didn't send him any messages that said, oh, please respond to me, please pay attention to me. He chose to take the time and respond to you because he wanted to. And that's what you're looking for, right? That's the thing that's going to make you feel good is because he will be reaching out because you are the person that he misses and he is thinking about you. And all of a sudden he has realized, oh, dang, I haven't heard from her all day. Let me call her. All right. Sometimes, you can do things like, okay, send a picture of the kid, but, don't make it be a request for a response. Just something loving. Just here is across the states. I am sending you love, sending you a little look in at your family. I'm just giving you that. I am not expecting anything from you for that. And when you do it like that, they're much more willing to call. They're much more willing to talk. All right, let's see. Keep it coming. I love every bit of this. I love to talk to y'all. This is wonderful for me. I love having the answers for you. I really do. I love this. All right, let's see. Angela, let me get to your question because you had a good question. She said, I feel like I'm holding back on completely letting go. Part of me says just get over and jump back in 100%. And part of me is always sad and saying to protect my heart so I won't be hurt if it happens again. I don't know what to do. The thing is, Angela, what you are saying to me is I am purposely letting myself continue to be sad so that I won't be sad later. That's what you're saying. That is that. You tell me if you feel me on that. Do you understand what I'm saying on that? You're telling me that you have to hold on to being sad, not to be sad later. That seems like it's defeating the purpose. It seems like you are doing too much to try and prevent something that may or may not happen, but giving yourself the suffering for it anyway. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve to hold back. If something in you is saying, let go, just open your arms and fall. Do it. Just go for it. Do it, okay? If some part of you is screaming for that, that is your real love for him. That is the part of you that was young and in love and believed in magic. That part of you, we need to nurture her, okay? We need to do exactly what she says because that is the person you fell in love with. That is the fun you, the one that wants love in their life. So instead of worrying that, oh, I have to protect my heart because I could be hurt, I'm, hey, look, I've already figured this out and I hope you figure this out too. I'm going to open my heart up to everything that I possibly can. In this life, I'm going to open it up every single time. And if I get hurt, so it's not going to kill me. It's not going to actually break me. It's just an opportunity that I took that, okay, it didn't work out so well. But I got all these other times where I got to open up my heart and let something in on this planet. If you feel like that about something, do it. Enjoy it. Let it in. Let go. My husband and I, back when we were having trouble, it was, we called it the avalanche theory. If you're in an avalanche and you keep throwing your arms out, trying to stop yourself, trying to, get a foothold on the mountain, you're going to break every bone in the avalanche. Okay. The easiest way to get out of like being all broken up in an avalanche is to free fall, is to let it go, to let go. It is the hardest thing, but the simplest thing to do. And that's what you need to do here. Some part of you is like, just do it. Just jump right back in. This is your marriage. This is exactly the person you want to be with. You're getting exactly what you want. Stop hesitating. Listen to that heart. Listen to her. She is not lying to you. She is not telling you that part of you that is always trying not to get hurt. That's the part that will lie. The part of you that wants to open up, that wants to be vulnerable, is not lying to you. It's saying, hey, it is worth it. Yeah, we might get hurt again. It's a possibility. And the thing is, okay, even so, you can just stop worrying about it. I promise you, cross my heart, Angela, yeah, you're going to be hurt again. I promise you that. So let's not even stress about it. Let's just go ahead and jump right in and enjoy all we can before we get hurt again. Because relationships only end one of two ways. Okay. You are in a long term marriage here. It is either going to be you separate and you're not together anymore, or one of you is going to die. That is the only two ways that a relationship ends. That's it. Those are the only two ways. So you are guaranteed pain. You trying to stop it now, what is that doing? Nothing except for ruining now. You could have all the fun and then, okay, when it comes time for you to be separated from him in whatever way that it's going to happen, you will know that every day I was in 100%. Every day, I don't regret every minute I spent with him because I expended every bit of love that I possibly could, and I opened my heart up as wide as I possibly could. And damn it, if that causes pain, then so be it. Does that? I've been talking for a minute. Let me go back and see. All right, you saying that makes sense to you? All right, good, good, good. I'm glad because I want you to have that breathtaking love again. Just dive right into it. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. Go for it. All right. Everybody out there, go for it. Go for mind blowing, breathtaking love. And if you get hurt at the end of it, okay, so. All right. We knew that was going to happen anyway. We were aware of that. So you might as well get all of the good that you can while you draw breath on this planet. You might as well. I get a little passionate about that. Right? Oh, and that made me a little teary. And let me remind you that it's like 2 days before the full moon. So the full moon is Saturday. You will feel a little bit moody, a little volatile. So just so you know, that is what's happening. Don't freak out and don't talk about it. All right. Whatever it is that you want to talk about, it's not a good idea this week. Okay. Try it like next Wednesday. If you write it down in your journal, you come back to it and be like, oh, I still need to talk to him about this on like Wednesday or Thursday of next week. Okay, fine. But before that, you are going to get all wrapped up in it, and your brain is going to be like, see, this is why we got to talk to him about everything. And then you're going to go off, and it's not going to be a fun week. Okay. All right. Angelina said to you, to Angela, that she was like, she's journals. See, and the journaling is great. It's wonderful stuff. All right, Jessica. Hi. Jessica said, I'm struggling with finding myself again. Like everything I'm doing seems not to be good enough. I'm always doubting myself on everything. And that is her trauma too. Your brain is sitting there telling you all sorts of lies about yourself. Nobody is saying this about you, right? Nobody is saying to you that you're not enough. You're not trustworthy on big decisions. That's just your brain messing with you. Your brain, when this trauma tries to find any reason that this happened, and blaming you is not off limits. So your brain will be like, "Oh, this is all your fault because you loved him, and you're so stupid for loving him," and make you feel all bad about it. But there's nothing wrong with you. Stop comparing yourself to nothing. You just need to figure out what makes you feel good, makes you feel alive, the thing that you want to do to reach out in the world. Get your life back. Do the things that make you feel good and make you feel confident, and then you won't doubt yourself so much. But yeah, you need to go out and do some things for you, do some things that make you happy, do some things that can change the world if you can. And you will find yourself in those things and the things that you love, you find yourself, and then you realize, who am I comparing to? Why am I comparing myself to anybody? I am the unique individual that I am. I am not to be compared with anyone. I am me. I am here for a reason. I am here on this planet to affect things, to change things just as I am. So I don't have to be enough for anybody except myself. That's it. That's the only person you have to be enough for. So if you keep struggling with that, you're like, I'm not good enough. The only person you ever had to be good enough for is you. So accept that about yourself and go on with your life. Go get your life. Go do the things that make you feel good and make you feel useful to the world. And you will find yourself again. You won't doubt yourself. You're a queen out here. You're goddess on earth. Okay. You are just as you are supposed to be. So don't stress yourself by that end. Hope that makes sense. Mhm. Caitlin said our anniversary would have been June 4th, so I'm trying not to push it. He said we're going on a break back in the beginning of April. Oh, so he's like, y'all are on a break, but you still going about the whole relationship? I I'd give him a present. Give him a small thing. Give him a little thing. But yeah, what anniversary is it supposed to be? Let me know. I'll get him a little thing. I would say, it's our anniversary. Break or not, it's still your anniversary. Love you. Here you go. Give you a little bit of love. I want him to recognize your anniversary. I want him to give you some flowers or some kind of thing for your anniversary. So, if you need to talk to him about it, fine. But you could just get him a thing and wrap it up and leave it for him in the morning in case he needs some time to get his gift game together during the day. And yeah, let me know. And you all live together. Everything's still as far as like everything is still going on. Like as far as you all living together, handling bills, doing the kids, like, doing the kids stuff, like everything. Is it all the same, or like are you separated and you're not staying together? Let me know. Hmm, let's see. Dominique says, I'm struggling hard. 13 years of lies and betrayal, two young kids to raise, and no time to grieve or fall apart, coming after my business, my finances, embracing my family around town, socially and professionally. All right. Dominique, okay. Dispersing your family. Are you saying your children family or like the adults in your life? Because for real, don't you take on the shame of, oh, I disgraced my older adult family. They are no, that's not your responsibility. That is not something that you have to take on. Is, oh, they're so embarrassed by something that happened to you. Don't put that on your own back. All right. As far as like socially, I get it. If you've done this in front of people, I get that. Professionally though, like has this behavior affected you professionally? How did it make your business fall apart? As far as you're grieving, yeah, you're grieving. You're going through it. It has been some things. I'm like 13 years. Okay, so we knew some time ago that it was like this. I get what you're saying. That okay, yes, lies and betrayal, and I thought it was going to be different. But at this point, what you can do if you are still together is do the 180. Go into the group. If you hadn't heard about it yet, do the 180. The 180 is a technique like when you're kind of close to divorce. Yeah, like yeah, I don't know if we'll make it. They might still be seeing the other woman. Things are not going well. The 180 is a technique to pull back and start focusing some of that attention that you have been focusing on him and the situation, putting it back on yourself. It seems like if your business is falling apart, you got other stuff to do, then you got things that you could be focused on besides this relationship. Sometimes it's best to just put that baggage down for a little while, go tend to something else, and then come back and be able to pick that baggage up again and sort through it then. So the 180 should help with that. It's a good way to do that. And then you go ahead and start handling what you need to handle with the kids and handle what you need to handle with your business and your finances and your professional life. Give yourself that cushion. Take a little bit of time for yourself. Back off from the relationship. You cool down, we can cool down, and then okay, yeah, we can come back to it when I've gotten things straight and I feel like I'm a little bit more on stable ground. Does that make sense? I don't know a whole lot about the situation from what you said, but from what you said, there you go. Caitlin, you're still living together, no kids. Okay, we were talking about starting a family a bit after we got settled in our home. Okay, all right. So you still living together, still normal routine. I just go ahead and give him a gift. I give him a little present for an anniversary. Let him know, you still my honey. Do it sound like first thing, so he can go run and get you one if he doesn't get you one. All right. If there's something in particular that you want, let him know that you want. All right. Let's see. That's Mariah. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? Glad you're here. You said, how much do you charge for couples therapy? You know what? I am not actually currently doing couples therapy. That's why I started just working with women. I I know all the women that I work with want to do couples therapy, want him to have to come and be accountable and do something. But a lot of the work for you to heal is going to be about what you can do. And I've been there. I can tell you about what you can do. His part kind of comes after that part. Like when you start to head down the healing path, you start to fix things up for yourself, start feeling better for yourself. His change follows. They follow us. If we start to heal, if we start to be better, we take off down the healing path. He's going to take off running down behind you because he doesn't want to be left behind. Does that make sense? So I don't do couples therapy. Now I do one-on-one. You can talk to me. Now in my one-on-one program, you can do sessions with me, and I think it's what is it? It's 60 days and it's 4 sessions. So two of those sessions, okay, fine if you wanted him to come along, but a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about as you're trying to heal are going to be things that you need to do that actually don't include him. And as you start to do the things that you need to do, he will just come along. You won't even need him to do a whole bunch of stuff. So I know everybody wants to do couples. Right now, my one-on-one sessions, my 60 days one-on-one package is 555 right now. Is what it is. So it's out right this second. So yeah. That you could come to me for that. Let me know. Let me know if you're interested in working with me. But yeah, a lot of what I do has to do with the women that are going through this. There's not a lot he can say to fix things. I find that we end up getting people get into arguments when we do the couples thing because you want to talk to him about what he did wrong, and you only want him to talk about what he did wrong, and that doesn't work because of course, when they have a person there that's mediator, that's supposed to be on both of your sides, because I'm not on your side, I'm not on his side, I'm on the side of the relationship. So they got somebody there that can be a mediator, and then they want to bring up stuff that they're upset about. And that might not be what you want him to do. So I have found that if you go into couples therapy worried about what they have to do for the couples therapy, it will not be really successful. And that's why a lot of the time I just work with women. Right? Yeah, let me know if you're interested in working with me. Hey, I got programs. We go all the way down to the R&R group, which is once a week. I meet with my group. Although most of them are just about healed up right about now. Everybody's feeling pretty good. People aren't skipping me, not really coming, so they're feeling pretty good. So when I open that back up again, you may want to get on that if you want to work with me. But yeah, let me know. That's all right. I got you. Say hi. Let's see you over there on Instagram. Hello. Let's see. Bombay, hey. You said EMDR pros and cons. Can only the tough take it on, or is it for the faint of heart or the broken too? I feel this is my only hope to rid myself of the pop-up triggers and invasive thoughts. They are brutal and ruining my life. I know slash have seen too much and need to move on if possible. I have heard good things about EMDR. I have heard good things. And I haven't personally done it myself, but I do know that they have apps for it now. It's not you don't even have to get in and see a psychiatrist anymore. You can get it in the app and put it on your phone and do the EMDR therapy through that. So I have not. I don't recall any cons. Most people who have done it say that it is very, very effective. It makes them feel like they can deal with the thoughts that the thoughts are not gone, they're not disappeared or something, but they're better equipped to be able to handle them and get back to a good regulated place instead of flying off the handle because of the thought. So I've heard good things. I hope hey go for it. I'm like come back and report it. Let us know how you're doing. But as far as I've heard good things. So yeah. All right. Let's see. That's all the questions from the post. Okay. Do you have any other questions for me? Any comments, thoughts, complaints? Real quick before I go, I'm gonna go over the part of the dreams formula we're on this week. We have done the dreams formula for the last four? This is week 5. We did the D of the dreams formula, making the decision, deciding that this is my person and he's worth healing and he's worth healing and staying. I'm going to work it out. All right. That is your decision. Then you've got the R, which is recognizing and overcoming the fear speech, the fearful, painful things that are going through your head and the fearful, painful things that other people will say to you about this situation as you are trying to heal. All of that fear, if you catch somebody and they're saying the exact same fearful thing that's in your head, stop talking to that person about this, okay? You have found the wrong person. That is not a person that's going to help you. That is a person that is going to hinder your progress, okay? The E is for evaluating the why. We've got those 3 reasons: sick, sad, stupid. Sick is any kind of physical illness or mental illness will change your behavior. I've seen it plenty of times. People, especially like having heart attacks, have a heart attack, go right out and get a girlfriend. It is the strangest thing, but we do not do well in our interpersonal relationships when we are hurting and we are sick. Then there is sad. Sad is a loss of some kind of grief, maybe about the relationship, maybe about losing a parent, losing a friend. But it is some kind of loss they feel. And it does not have to be a loss that you can perceive. It can be a loss that is something to them and not something that you would think is such a big deal. And then there is stupid. It's not what you think. Stupid is all the stupid things that we get taught about being in relationships together. Men get taught that they're supposed to have as many women as they possibly can. And women are taught that we are supposed to keep ourselves chaste and only have sex with the one person that we marry. It's just ridiculousness. There's a whole bunch of mess that we are all taught, the things that we see and witness when we're children, as we're coming up, as we're watching the grown up relationships around us. It's a lot of stupid that happens with those relationships. Okay. And one of the stupid things is the fact that people pressure you to leave your relationship even when you don't want to leave your relationship. I was watching a TV show, a talk show this afternoon, and it was like the girl was trying to come to an understanding with her mate, and everybody was like, well, girl, you should just leave him. I don't know why you don't leave him. You got to respect yourself. You got to do all of that. All of that is fear speech, number one, and some stupid stuff that we've been told about relationships, that the only way to fix anything is just to leave. Like, no, that's not the only way. We got the A, which is allowing the healing to happen. We've got to allow ourselves to heal. We have got to stop poking at the wound. We have got to start doing the normal things that we do in the relationship in order for the relationship to heal. And then there is today, we're talking about the M of the dreams formula. That is managing your future feelings. You are going to have some future feelings about this. You're going to be triggered sometimes. Even if you're doing great, even if you are doing fan-freaking-tastic, you are still going to have some times where you have triggers. Triggers are emotional responses based on our senses. They are a smell of somebody's perfume in your nose and you think about the other woman. They are his phone dinged, and that's exactly the same thing that it does when she was texting him. What else? I don't know. It could be anything as far as your senses are concerned. Things that you see. He could sit a certain way. He could wear a certain amount of clothes that you were like, oh, he wore that the last time he went to see her. All sorts of things it can be, but most of the time it is a sensory experience. It is something that has to do with your five senses: your sense of touch, taste, smell, hearing, and sight. All right. It has to do with one of those senses. So it'll be something that triggered you. And when you have a trigger, you have to recognize that it is a trigger. You're going to have that same fight or flight response. Your body is going to be reacting to this trigger because that is how anxiety and trauma work. Your brain has this emergency response to something that it knows has hurt you before. So it goes ahead and sends that adrenaline through your system and makes you have that fight or flight response. And then your body feels terrible. And then your brain feels terrible. And you feel terrible all the way around. And then you start to take it out on your honey. Joni, yes, absolutely. It is still live. Hi, I'm here. Just talking to you about the dreams formula. So you have to learn what your body does when you're triggered. You have to know what that reaction is going to be. That is the first key thing to being able to get past triggers as they come up. You've got to recognize that physical feeling that your body gives you that says, hey, I am triggered as hell right now. We need to do something about this. Then you can actually do something about it. So we've got to figure out, okay, is it my chest is, my heart is about to pound out of my chest? Does it feel like something's trying to claw up my throat? Does it feel like something's squeezing my head? What is the physical response that you're having? And if you can learn that and recognize that early, you can stop a lot of the manifestation of the trigger from happening in your body, in your mind. You can recognize it, start doing your deep breathing, do a little journaling, physically and emotionally decide on letting it go, and then taking a few minutes to write it down. So, okay, my brain is shown that I'm writing it down, and now I can let it go and move on from there. All right. So you need to be having a plan for managing those future triggers. They are going to happen. You need to know what you're going to do about them when they happen. So whatever it is, if you have a trigger and it's like, oh, I freak out about his phone, going to talk to him is not a way to handle the trigger. Going to confront the person that you are triggered by is a confrontation. It is not healing. It is not healthy. It is not helping you. Okay. Going to talk to him about it is just going to make you even more angry. So you have to figure out something that you can do all on your own without going to him, or you can ask for a hug. You can ask him to do a physical thing with you to help you out to get yourself together. But you are in control of your emotions. He can't really do too much about being in control of your emotions. He can't fix it for you. You have to recognize that it's happening and then actually take steps for it not to continue to happen. All right. Does that make sense? You gotta be wary about these triggers. These triggers, these future emotions, they can sneak up on you. Okay, especially when things are going good. Oh, things are going well, and then all of a sudden, trigger town, and it has jumped on your head and it's beating you in the head, and you're trying your very best to keep on your feet. You need to know what to do in that situation. So, in the midst of the feeling, the panic, the overwhelm, you already know what the plan is. You've already written it down. You've already thought about it. You're like, okay, if this happens, I will do this. And then you do it. And then every time that particular trigger comes up, you do that thing and follow through. And your brain will learn that you do not like that particular trigger. You do not enjoy it. Every single time it gets cut on, you cut it back off. So your brain will stop sending it to you. All right. So, but that takes time and it takes practice. So you have to be consistently working on actually like stepping away from the pain, stepping away from the past for a little bit. All right. Let's see. Joni, you said, so how do we move past all this? I'm 6 weeks out and I hate it every day. I haven't had any physical things happen when triggers start. They just start, and it has been all day lately. Well, yeah, you're only 6 weeks out, Joni. So yeah, for sure, the triggers just happen all the time. Then, I was just speaking about like even after you started to heal, you will have triggers. But right now, it's just the triggers are trigger after trigger after trigger because you are just traumatized. You just found out about this, and so your brain is just firing off automatically. The main thing, all right, let me say the main things that I want you to do. Number one, don't ask them a whole bunch of questions about this. You will want to. Your brain will probably be screaming at you to do it. Don't ask. Don't get any more information than you already have because it is overwhelming to your brain. You are already triggered. Your brain is already struggling. Adding to that with painful information is not going to help you at all. All right. If you can keep it with just the information you know right now, you will be much better off. All right. You do not have to leave, but eventually you have to forgive him. If you are going to stay, you cannot torture him forever about this. You have to make up in your mind that he and your relationship are worth working this out, and you will start to move towards that healing. As you start to move towards healing, as you start to not keep on talking about it, to start acting normally again, to try and have those close times with him again, to get back on a level field where your emotions are not pulling you every which way. As you do that, he is going to follow along. Things are going to work very well. All right. So, hey, first things first is just keep yourself nice and calm. Don't ask a whole bunch of questions and decide that it is okay for you to want to be with this person still. Even where other people might have a problem with it, you love them and that is worth something. You follow what your heart wants you to do, even if your brain is screaming at your heart not to. All right? You let me know. If you have specific questions, that's where to start. All right? And that's a place where most of us have to keep coming back to. Is this person worth it? Is this a good decision that I'm making? You are making a decision based on what you want in your life, what you want for your future. So nobody else can say if that's a good decision except you. So decide that it's a good decision and then follow through with it. Every single day, do things that are loving and not jabbing at him, trying to hurt him because you were hurt. Get back on some solid ground emotionally and you'll be okay. You will. But let me know. You message me if you want to, if you need somebody to help you, you want to work with me, I got you, okay? Caitlin, you said, my issue is I have anxiety, bipolar, and I overthink everything. I am in therapy for them. I'm slowly working on them a little at a time. My husband has bipolar disorder too. He does, and he has been working on it. He has once he figured out that there actually was something wrong with him because he didn't know. He was like 33, and we just gotten him diagnosed because I made him go to the doctor. I was like, dude, something, what, I don't know what it is, but this is weird. You got to go to the doctor. I made him go to the doctor. He didn't know about this until he was like 33 years old. So it took him a while. He's in his 50s now. So it took him took him about a decade, and he was able to get himself to the place where he's not on any medication at all right now. He can get himself regulated without the need for going back to, anti-anxiety, mood stabilizers, and he made it so that he was able to do that by paying attention to the things that set him off, that started triggering him, that made him anxious, that made him start overthinking, catching those thoughts. And you can do the same thing. If you have anxiety, start working with the anxiety. You start working on doing your deep breathing. You do your journaling. If you start to overthink things and you've been thinking about it and it's just been rolling around in your head over and over again for an hour, just acknowledge it. In the moment, it's hard because you don't recognize it as doing that in the moment. So as your brain is going and you're starting to overthink, put that label on it. Be like, hey, I am overthinking. This is not fun. I don't want to keep doing this. And then you make the conscious effort to say, okay, no, I'm not doing that right now. I'm not overthinking right now. I am living in this present moment. I am paying attention to, it's summertime and I'm getting ready to go to the pool. I'm paying attention to my wardrobe. I am paying attention to other things. There are things that I can do that are going to make me feel good that are not that are not overthinking and stressing. All right. And it just takes a little time. It does. You're already working on it. You just got to recognize the thought when it happens. If you can start doing that, that takes a whole bunch of the pressure off. All right. Anybody else got questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? Hey, Tracy. See you, girl. Hello. All right. Let me see. Don't see any other questions, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit about these affirmations. If you got another question, I'm still here, but I'm going to get to the end now. All right. So, affirmations. They always tell you to do the affirmations, don't they? They say if you sit down and you do affirmations, you start changing your whole life. It does work if you are saying positive affirmations. If you are saying negative affirmations, guess what's going to happen? You're going to feel negatively, okay? I promise you, whatever you keep repeating to your brain is what your brain will believe. If you keep saying, I'm unloved and I'm just so unlovable and he'll never really love me and never really want me, that is what your brain will believe, okay? But if you say, I am loving and absolutely lovable. I am a downright goddess on this planet. He is so grateful and so happy that he ever even interacted with me, much less locked me down. It is an amazing thing that he actually got to do that. I know for sure that he must love me desperately because I'm a goddess. And if I didn't feel like he was treating me as such, then I wouldn't love him. So I'm going to assume the best about that. You got to change the way your brain is working right now. So whatever you say to your brain, you look yourself in the eye, sit in your mirror, in your phone, or do recording if you need to, and you say your affirmation with conviction. You say it like you really, really, really mean it. All right. Say it like your best friend is going through whatever you're going through and they're thinking terrible things about themselves. And you want to make it crystal clear. Best friend, you can't be talking about my best friend like that. No, I do not want that. You should not be talking about you like that. You shouldn't be talking to you like that. All right. So whatever it is, I want you to say it like you really mean it. Say it like it's the most important thing in the entire world because it really is. All right. So let's see. I'm gonna flip through. I'm gonna find you one. Jessica, you said what I struggle with is the whole affair. How could he do it? How far he went and just moving past it. You know what though? They all that's what happens. They all go that far. They do. You struggle with it because you can't imagine that somebody could love you and do something so wrong. But the problem with that is complete bullshit, okay? Somebody can do you wrong and love you desperately. Your own mother can do you wrong. Raise your hand, give me some likes, give me some love if you've been hurt by somebody who you know was supposed to love you, like your parent, all right? Somebody who loves you is still just a human being. Okay. Whatever was going on with him, whatever his why was, always that why has to do with pain. To think that this wasn't a good idea, how far off, how badly must he have been feeling to think that this was a good idea? To think this whole affair, to do this whole big thing, to betray you, to go this far, that couldn't have been a good place, right? That's what you can do to help you with that struggle. To recognize that he couldn't have been in a good place. That's crazy. Why would you hurt the person that you love like that? Because you're hurting. That's the reason. That is always the reason. The reason that we hurt each other as people is because we are hurting as people. So there was something. And you probably know it and recognize it better than he does. That's the thing about being the female half of this equation, being the wife, being the girlfriend, because you probably know what pain it was within him that made him think, oh, it's a really good idea to betray my woman like this. It had to be something big, and it had to be something that you probably understand was a painful thing for him. And he, in his pain, made a really, really bad decision. That's what happens. We make terrible decisions when we're in pain. When we do the wrong things to the people that we love, it is because we are in pain and distracted. And so then things that we know are bad ideas become good ideas, become feasible, become things, oh, well, yeah, I could do that in our heads because we're hurting so bad. We just want the pain to stop. All right. So, how could he do this? Something was wrong. That's how he could do this. Something was wrong. And he went too far. And he knows he went too far. Because you know, as soon as you do the wrong thing, that you went too far. You know that. We all know that. He's not oblivious. But he doesn't know exactly how to get all the way back either. Because now you're standing there in the road and you're like, I don't know if you can ever get back. I'm hating on you right now. I don't really like you right this minute. And then he questions if he ever can get back. And then that makes him try less to get back. So try and understand, try and have a little compassion if he can. Work on that, cultivate that there had to be something terribly wrong for you to think that such a bad idea was a good idea. All right. Does that make sense to you, Jessica? Let me know. Because that's the thing. That's the thing that you got to keep up with is you thought this was a really good idea. This was the stupidest thing you've ever done. Why did you think this was a good idea? Because I was hurting and I was distracted and my brain wasn't working properly because that's what happens when you're in pain. The same way that you're probably doing the wrong things to him right now, but you feel like, well, you may not be doing it, but a lot of people do this. You will feel like you are justified in doing the wrong things because you're hurting. You're like, well, you hurt me, so I get to hurt you back. All right. That it's the same type of thought. It's the idea that because I am hurting, then me hurting somebody is justified. And that doesn't have really anything to do with you. That has to do with him and his own thinking and his own pain. All right. Let me know. Jessica, does that make sense? If you can't, if you're struggling with it, just try and come back to some compassion for an obviously painful time in his life that made him do something so stupid. All right. Hope that helps. All right. I think that's about it. I don't see any other questions. But hey, if you want to work with me, I want to work with you. I want to help you out. All right. So message me, let me know. Jessica said, okay, it does. Okay, good. It's just hard to say it was so bad he cheated. I don't want to give him a pass and we're on a good path, but it's still hard to think about. Well, don't think about it as giving him a pass. You're not giving him anything. You just are deciding on what you want. What you want is to love this person. And you know that there had to be something wrong, that there's had to be something going on with him, that he made such a horrible mistake. And everybody that makes horrible mistakes feels terrible about it. And they want to fix it, usually, unless you're just a total sociopath. Every now and again, you want to run across one of those. But if you have somebody that you love and who you think loves you, you're pretty sure that he loves you, it's not giving him a pass because he's already hurting about it. He knows that he has done the absolute wrong thing. He knows that you're going to have a hard time to forgive him and get past it. But when you do that miracle, when you say, okay, I love you anyway, we're going to be together anyway, we're going to get through this, and then you actually do that, you performed a miracle. You have done something he has never seen before in life. At the time where he was his worst, at the time where you could freely just go ahead and walk away from him, you still chose him. You still chose to get this on solid ground to be with the person that you love. That's some real love. That's some magic. You have woven a whole spell around him when you do that. And now he's going to be looking at you like, I cannot believe I have this amazing woman in my life. She very righteously could have slain me, but she decided that she was going to save me instead. She was going to love me anyway. She was going to work things out with me. This is a godsend. I've got to treat this woman well. I don't know why I ever did something so stupid, and but I'm going to make sure that I never do it again. That is how it happens. People think that punishing them, not giving them the pass, is the way to make it so that they won't do it again. It's not that. If you can love somebody through their worst, the worst of things that they could have possibly done to you, and you still love them and you come through on the other side and you work things out, that is when they're like, oh, I will never do anything to hurt you again. I would die first. I'm going to have to fall on my sword instead of doing something that would hurt you again. That is how you get them to not do it. So you said deciding on what I want is a better way to put it. Good. All right. Because that's all. You're not giving them no passes. You are deciding what you want to do with your life. You are choosing this person as the person that you're going to forgive. Okay. That's a personal thing. That doesn't have anything to do with him. That has to do with you and how you feel about him. So you are deciding that this is the person that you are going to forgive. That is a beautiful thing to find. If you find that person, that's the person you're supposed to marry, is the person that you'll forgive for a lifetime, because you're going to need to. Everybody is going to need that. You're going to need to forgive somebody for a lifetime if you're going to be with them for a lifetime. All right. He said, I know he's hurting. He says he feels tainted and dirty. And and he should. And I bet you said that you do know what was going on with him that made him think that this was a good idea. If you get all of that combined in, doing the wrong thing, and the fact that he was hurting already, you can have a little compassion to him. You can understand that he was in a position where he made a huge mistake. He made a terrible decision because he was feeling bad. And you can get with him on that level because you understand what that's like. You kind of want to punish him for this. And that's because you're feeling bad. You feel like, well, if I feel bad, I need to spread that feel bad around a little bit. Totally understand that. But that is exactly how it led to him doing the wrong thing. He felt like he was justified in doing the wrong thing because he was hurting. So don't you go and be just like him and feel justified in lobbing grenades at him and, sniping at him whenever you feel like it just because you're hurt. All right. Hope that makes sense. Hope so. All right. I don't see any other questions. So I'm going to go ahead and pick our affirmation card for the day. This one says, today I am powerful. Today I know that I have the power and wisdom to accomplish everything I choose to do. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, people. Today I am powerful. Today I know that I have the power and wisdom to accomplish everything I choose to do. And over here so you can see it. At the light. Okay. Today I am powerful. Today I know that I have the power and wisdom to accomplish everything I choose to do. All right. You are powerful. You are powerful just because you are still standing after something like this is happening to you. That is a very, very powerful woman thing. Okay. Don't think that you are less than because this is happening to you. This group is over 6,000 people, and that's just people who have found me. Okay. There are plenty of other groups over here that are up in the hundreds of thousands of women who have gone through the exact same thing you have gone through. It doesn't mean anything about you. It is something about him, about what has gone on with him. You, my friend, are powerful beyond measure. You are brave. You are loving. Go ahead and be open. All right. Allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to be open and loving to the person that you love. All right. All right. If that's it, you're welcome, Jessica. If that's it, and I think it is. Yep. People kind of fading out. All right. I just don't do what the fear tells you to do this week. Whatever it's telling you, whatever it's screaming in your head, do the exact opposite. I love you. I am so proud of you. And I will see you again next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Thursday on the Healing Hour Live. All right, y'all. That's it. Bye. Bye over here on Facebook and YouTube. And